welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverly. It's lovely to see you today. So I saw the other day that Let's Talk was trending on Twitter, and it's basically a mental health thing, saying like, if you need to talk, I'm here for you. And I thought that was really... Sorry, my dog's hurt his foot today, so I'm like really struggling to look after him. Give me cuddles. Okay, there you go. So Let's Talk is really important because people need to know that they can talk to you, and I want you all, my subscribers, to know that you can come and talk to me anytime. You can DM me on Twitter, you can email me, my email is down below, so is my Twitter and my Instagram. Feel free to message me if you're struggling at all. But I'm struggling at the moment. I've struggled with chronic depression since the age of 14. It's something that I very much have had on and off over that time, and it's something that has been in my life and been like a bit of a, I don't know, Eeyore strapped to my back sometimes. I don't always want to think about it or talk about it, but I think it's important. The Let's Talk movement is really just opening up about things. So about a week ago, my nan was rushed into hospital and we found out that she has leukemia and is at the end of her life. We don't know how long she has left. And it's really kicked up a lot for me, a lot of emotions. We lost my granddad about 18 months ago. My nan and granddad are two of the biggest inspirations in my life. They brought God to my life. They started me on my journey of faith. They taught me to do many of the things that humans do, like feed themselves and talk. And they just taught me a lot over the years, you know, more than I can ever repay. And it's sad. When my granddad died, I fell into a big pit of depression, very bad. And I didn't really get back my feeling of happiness and feeling part of the world and myself again until I went to see a medium, a psychic, who started me off on my psychic journey. And I just kind of, I'm spending a lot of time reflecting on the amazing person that my nan is. And I feel like I'm 2 seconds from crying at any moment. Like, every moment just feels so hard right now. And I'm not alone in struggling, and it doesn't matter what form or reason your depression has come on you. It could even be for no reason. Most of the time my depression is around and I'm like, I have everything that I could possibly need to be happy. Why am I not happy right now? And you just kind of have to look after yourself. And this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about self-care, because if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I've been on this kind of journey to try and improve myself and become a better person. I think everybody wants that in their lives. And I've recently started a course, Heal Chronic Fatigue. And I started that course very cynically. I think a lot of people with chronic illness do. When you see these things like, oh, we can heal you, and it's like, yeah, of course you can. Rightio then, next. And you kind of don't believe it. But this course has really opened my mind. It's been very psychologically based, which has been awesome. It's been exactly what I've needed. Daily affirmations, looking in the mirror, looking at myself and saying, you know, you are good enough. You are you, and to celebrate who I am and not be ashamed to be a bit kooky and a bit weird, and to want to be a psychic and to have interests like that nobody else has. And I've always felt put down for those differences and set aside, like, oh, she's weird. But I think it's important that while I'm going through this, that I don't want to fall into that big pit of depression. And it can kick up a lot of negative emotions that I find so easy to fall into. It's like, it's almost like a comfort blanket, depression is, in a strange way. It's been on my back for so long, and there's times where I kind of curl up and hibernate under my little blanket of depression, and it's easy to hide away. But this Heal Chronic Fatigue course, the week 1 and 2, were just about being aware of your thoughts and feelings. And I saw a TED talk a couple of weeks ago about, if I can find it, I will link to it down below, but it was a really incredible talk about how your thoughts are just how we perceive the world, and they're not actually the truth. Even how you see somebody else, what you think, how you take in how the sunset looks, or what colour things are, everything we think and see is just how our brain is trying to process what's going on in the world. And that really hit me hard. I was like, wow, so that's all just me trying to perceive things. And my negative thoughts are just the way my brain is trying to process what's going on around me, and how other people are trying to process things, and I'm, you know, making assumptions based on the way people look at me or talk to me or whatever. Even like social labels that you hang on yourself, like disabled, LGBTQ, married. You know, you hang all these labels on yourself, and society does it as well. It loves putting you into boxes. But it really taught me, like, to be conscious of my thoughts. Meditation helps a lot with training this, but I have found just being in this moment and being mindful has been something that I've been trying to work on for the last 3 or 4 years now. It's not easy. I wouldn't even begin to say it is easy to be like, oh, I had a thought. That thought is great. Goodbye thought. And not go off into story time, and to stay in this moment is not easy, and at the moment I'm struggling with that. But that TED talk and the course have both just really shown me that my thoughts I control them. They're not in control of me. If I have a thought, I can then take that thought and flip it around and make it into something positive. Even if it's something, that woman looked at me strange, I can then think, well, maybe she's having a bad day. That strangeness is not about me, it's that person's perception, so I should just let it go. And plus, I don't know that person, so why do I care why they're looking at me? I think depression is very hard to talk about. It's very hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but I think, I mean, if you're going to go down into like the basics of it, so it's just a chemical imbalance in the brain that makes you perceive things in a negative way. And I definitely feel like you can easily turn that back onto its head and flip that on its head and make every negative into a positive. Self-care is extremely important, and I think this is the biggest part of self-care that I do, is just being aware of my thoughts and not letting things take off. Because the minute you fall into a negative thought, like I had the thought the other day, because I'd actually prayed that I didn't want my nan to suffer. She has dementia. I didn't want her to forget us. I didn't want her to suffer with the illness. And then we found out she'd got leukemia, and she was only going to last probably a few weeks. That was hard to hear. But then my negative thoughts started saying, well, you prayed for it, it's your fault it's happening, blah, 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 blah. That negativity could have sunk me down to a deep pit of self-abuse. And that's what it is, really. Depression, it causes you to abuse yourself. You just basically sit in this little well of negative thoughts and kind of let yourself drown. But But I definitely felt like, you know what, she isn't going to suffer, and we aren't going to know a time when she doesn't know who we are. And just to appreciate that and be thankful and grateful to God, grateful to the medical teams that are looking after her, grateful to the time we've got with her, instead of flipping it round and being negative to myself and feeling guilty. Guilt's a really bad one. It's a bad one. I remember when I was in therapy, they always said, like, just watch your thoughts, be mindful, be in this moment. And that's something that I'm definitely trying to work on. I'm also buying more fresh fruit, fresh veg. I'm making my own soup instead of eating tin soup. It's really easy. I just get loads of frozen veg and stock cubes and a bit of water and stick it in the slow cooker for hours, and then I've got soup. It's really cheap, really easy. Bada bing, done. I don't know why I never did it before, but it just comes down to the fact that you think you're taking care of yourself until you research diet, which of course I've been doing. I'm in the nutrition section of the course, and it's a big subject. Nutrition is something that's big, and it's something that's going to take me time, the rest of my life, to really learn how to deal with it. I'm still not perfect, and nobody is. You can only do your best. But I definitely feel better in myself. I feel better equipped every day now that I'm eating 3 meals a day. And I'm making, you know, the first meal of my day is just porridge and fruit. And my second meal of the day is home cooked. And my third meal of the day is home cooked. Nothing's out packets and bags and things. That self-care is important, especially at the moment. It can be so easy to fall into that, oh, I can't be bothered. Because depression does drain all that energy out of you, and if you let it, it can make you step back 5,000 million steps. This moment in time is very hard. I'm making sure I'm sleeping enough, but not too much. It's easy to sleep for the whole day when you have depression, but I'm really making sure I'm not. Today I took my little doggy out for a walk. No, he's asleep, it's okay. Out for a walk to get some vitamin D from the sunshine, because the sun is out today. Get some fresh air in my lungs. It was a really nice mindful walk. We met a woman and her dog, so Gizmo got to say hi to that dog, and I pushed myself to be sociable to that woman, which is very hard. I have social anxiety and generalised anxiety disorder. Both make it very hard to talk to people that you don't know. But I did it, and afterwards I was like, yeah, because I did it. And celebrating those little victories, not giving in to negative thoughts, making sure you're eating right and sleeping enough. That's self-care to me. But also self-care is letting yourself feel those real emotions. I am heartbroken at the moment. My heart is breaking because I'm losing one of my best friends and one of my guides in life. Banana and Grandad were two of my biggest influences growing up. I spent nearly every weekend with them. They would look after me from like Friday night until Sunday evening, I think, if I remember right. They taught me how to eat properly. They taught me about caring for the environment. They taught me about having faith in God. And knowing that that woman who's such a major influence on me, that strong, capable woman now, is like a child again. But we had a moment. She's in hospital at the moment, and my dad and his fiance went out to speak to one of the nurses about her care, and I stayed with my nan, and I was holding her hand, and she looked at me, and we were just like this far away from each other, she leant over and she was like just looking into my eyes, and I said, I love you. And she said, I love you too. And I went, I love you too. And she just giggled. And it was such a beautiful moment. And that is the sort of thing that I can hold on to at the moment. And as I was leaving, she just kept shouting, love you, Bev, love you, Bev, love you, Bev. And it was so lovely. My heart was so full of love that even though this illness of dementia is taking her slowly away, my nan can still push through and tell me that she loves me. And that meant so much. And the self-care when I'm feeling brokenhearted is to remember that. It's to hold on to that memory and be like, no, she loves me. She doesn't want me to be upset. You know, she's 91. 91 years old. She survived the war. She's done incredible things throughout her life. And I need to celebrate that and not be depressed. So I just wanted to come and talk about what I'm going through at the moment. I'm also having a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of new doctors. I might have a thing called spondylitis, which would explain all my headaches, neck pain, and the top of my back pain. It's a type of osteoarthritis. I may need to have keyhole surgery on my knee. So there's a lot of things going on medically with me at the moment as well. And I will do an update video about that later on when I know exactly what's going on. But I think it's important that we don't internalise everything. And I think in this society, especially nowadays, it's easy to internalise things and to not feel like we can speak up. I mean, I think just today when I was looking at the Let's Talk thing, there's a big company that has gotten into trouble because of the way they're treating people with mental health. And also the government here in England is getting into trouble because they brought out a new form of disability benefit called PIP. And I went for it and I didn't get it because they said that I didn't need the mobility side, because I could go out on my own in a taxi or a bus to anywhere I wanted to go. Even though I explained that because of my anxiety and depression, I cannot do these things. They didn't take into account mental health. Any kind of mental health side to that, they just didn't award it to people. And so we lost a lot of money that we relied on, and so we're struggling a bit at the moment. And it's very hard to believe that, because I'm very much somebody that gets angry when I see rich people getting richer, and the poor people being trodden on. And we're definitely seeing that at the moment in England and in America. I used to adore America and used to dream of living there, and now I look at it and just think, the way they treat the poor over there. People are living in shacks basically. The homeless are treated badly. It's just, but then when I look here, I'm like, it's not much different. I went to London, I saw so many homeless people and people didn't even notice. I saw this woman, she was sat with, it's really cold in England at the moment, she had like bag that you sleeping bag. She had a sleeping bag wrapped around her, trying to keep warm. And a guy walked past her and smacked her with his bag accidentally. But he didn't stop walking, he didn't check she was okay, he just kept going. So as I was wheeled past in my wheelchair, I just leant over and touched her shoulder and was like, are you okay? Did he hurt you? And she said, no, I'm okay, love. People don't like to notice the homeless. And it feels the same sometimes when you're disabled, that people just don't want to see you. They don't want to know you. It's really, really hard to deal with. And it knocks you back. It knocked me back because my mental health issues stopped us getting the money that we need. And that puts more stress on my husband, who has epilepsy. And he's struggling more because of it. And I'm feeling guilty. and like a burden. And like I said in the video that I did about, I think it was week 1 or week 2 of the Heal Chronic Fatigue course. I will leave a link to the playlist down below in case you want to check that out. But I said then, like, I am not a burden. I am somebody who is worthy of having a nice life, having a good life. And I read an article not too long ago, and I wish I'd saved it because I really want to send it to every disabled person that I ever meet, because it was basically like, why do we apologise? Like, I'm so sorry I'm walking slow. I'm so sorry that you walked into me. I'm so sorry that you tripped over my wheelchair. Ugh! We apologise for everything as disabled people, and I think it's ingrained in us as human beings, especially in England, to just apologise for even existing. It's really hard to let go of that feeling and to let go of that thought. But it's something I'm really working on at the moment, so that's part of my self-care. It's really, really important that if you are struggling with mental health issues, that you know you are just as important as that person with cancer or that person with a broken leg. Just because you cannot see chronic pain, you cannot see depression, you cannot see anxiety. Anxiety isn't just feeling nervous, and it isn't just having a panic attack every 5 minutes. It's a lot more. It's more involved than I could even express ever, I think. I might try and do a video just about generalised anxiety disorder at some point. If you'd like to see that, leave me a thumbs up and a comment. But yeah, I think I've waffled enough. I'm sorry if this was a bit of a babble, but I hope that this has helped somebody out there see that they're not alone. If you got turned down for your PIP disability benefit because of mental health issues, it's not you, it's them. It's society. We're still shunned and put away. We've come a long way, but we've still got a long way to come, a long way to go in accepting mental health issues. But definitely check out the Let's Talk, it's hashtag Let's Talk, one word, on Twitter. It's probably on Instagram as well, but I haven't personally seen that. I've just seen it on Twitter. Check it out, because it's important that we do talk about mental health issues. I think we're getting very vocal about some things and not vocal about others, and I think it's important that we do that. I encourage you to get in touch if you need somebody to talk to. This is a safe place for anyone. I will talk and just listen to what you need to say. If you've got a problem or an issue, you can find me on a number of platforms, so definitely get in touch. So if you appreciate this sort of thing, definitely subscribe. I'm trying to get to 250 subscribers, so definitely hit the subscribe button, ring that little bell so you always get notified when I upload. Follow me on social media. Yeah, and let's keep talking about these things, because I think things need to change. Let's support each other and show compassion in the world, because there's not enough of that. Sending you all lots of love, and I will see you next time. Bye.